UFC London, Brady versus Edwards just took place. I've switched around the names because of the absolute mauling that just happened. Edwards did not deserve to have his name first anymore, but we'll get into that. Today I'm going to talk about, obviously, the full card, the fights that happened, and a few fights that I think should be made next. Only the important ones, though. I don't think anyone cares about who Puja Tomar should be fighting. Anyway, let's get into it. Starting off the card, Fernandes defeated Guram Kutateladze by unanimous decision. Well. I don't really like Guram that much. I feel like that was pretty evident in my prediction video. He's kind of in a weird position now because he's 2-3 in the UFC, had tons of hype on him, but if you look at his fights, there's an argument he's lost all 5 of them in the UFC, which is pretty crazy. I'm not going to make that argument, but, you know, he obviously his 2 wins were his debut when he fought, Gamrot. Very close fight. People think he could have lost that, though. And when he came in and he beat Vucenic, which, again, people argue that as well. But then, obviously, he's been finished by Brenner. He's lost this one by unanimous decision, and he lost that split decision to Demiris Magulov. It's not looking so good for Guram Kutateladze. For Fernandes, though, I underestimated him. Definitely did. He was very fast. He's a very fast guy, by the looks of it. I think I also overestimated Guram as well. Like, so even his mythos kind of infested my mind and made me think, Guram against a guy who I haven't really seen fight, definitely easy Guram, you know. But no, it wasn't there. Guram got bloodied up. Yeah, it's weird to see. But it's fine. Moving on. What do they do next? Guram, I don't know, man. Give him someone bottom of the bit. Give him like Thiago Moises or something. That could be fun. Him versus Thiago. As for Fernandes, I think him versus what's his name? Frisiam. Him versus Frisiam could be fun. I know Frisiam definitely deserves a ranked opponent at this point, but he himself came out and said, "Nah, I don't want a ranked opponent," which is weird. But okay, have a fun fight with Fernandes then. Maybe Quay doesn't deserve it. I don't care. Sounds like fun to me. Loughran defeated Nathan Fletcher. This one I had to watch back. I think I was actually asleep when it happened, but I saw people calling it a robbery, so I went back to go and look. Yeah, probably Nathan Fletcher deserved to win. It was really funny watching it back because I know in the photos there they look pretty different, but they looked identical in the cage. First round I thought was Caolan's round. Really, they both just kind of traded strikes, and then Caolan had takedowns and control, which I know doesn't mean anything, but not much really happened to, like, no one really put themselves apart from the other, you know, apart from Caolan doing that. Second round, Fletcher, he had a lot more stuff. He did what Caolan did in the first, except had an RNC attempt. Actually did more with it. And then in the third, it was looking like a bit of a repeat of the first round, but then at the end, you know, they brawled the fuck out, and Fletcher was cracking Loughran, so pretty open and shut in my opinion. Damage, I think that Fletcher should have won this one. Kind of weird. Who should both of them fight next? I don't care. Plain and simple. As said, I'm only going to matchmake people that is really interesting for. Just put them both against obviously unranked guys. Caolan definitely. I don't think anyone's saying you should get a ranked opponent, but definitely not. Yeah. It was, some moments were good. I think I said it was going to be boring, and in parts it was by the looks of it, but it's fine. Anyway, moving on. Shauna Bannon defeated Puja Tomar by way of second round armbar. This was a funny one to watch back, because Shauna Bannon was really just spamming those side kicks. She loved them, even hit a low blow on Puja Tomar at one point with it. Yeah, it was very comical to watch. I think they threw up a stat at one point, and it said she'd landed like 24 body shots, and they were all just side kicks. Cracked Puja Tomar in the face in the first round with one of them, which is good. That's good. I don't think she's really going to be... neither of them are going to be anything. Puja Tomar's 9-5 now. Shauna Bannon relies way too much on that side kick. Anyway, so, getting sidetracked. Second round, same stuff's happened. Puja Tomar almost colds Shauna Bannon with a head kick. Really, if it was stopped there, look, she took random pins. She looked like she was out cold for a second. would have been fine. Referee, saw shades of Valentina Shevchenko, Priscilla Cachoeira, and was like, no, let her die. She didn't die. She came back and got an armbar. So Puja Tomar is probably pretty mad at the ref, but what can you do? Don't get armbarred by Shauna Bannon. Yeah, it's really... I don't know. We'll see what they do next with these people. I think they should cut Puja Tomar. I think, even though I think that was her first loss in the UFC, I think she's like 1-1. It doesn't really matter. I think you want to have people in the UFC who actually can be something. And I don't really think she can. Anyway, moving on. Christian Leroy Duncan, CLD, defeated Andrey Pulyaev by unanimous decision. This was a fun one to watch back. I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one that I had to watch back. Yeah, CLD came out in that first round a lot less flashy. He obviously was throwing some stuff. But he grew into it more. He stayed, I felt, a little more with his fundamentals. But then in the second, especially the third round, he started feeling himself when he realised that Pulyaev was getting tired. He didn't really have anything for him. Yeah, it was, especially at the end there, it was just kind of an ass whooping. Yeah. There was, he threw a spinning thigh kick at one point. I think he might have tried it again afterwards, which was kind of, whatever you need, buddy. Go for it. But it feels like kind of a wasted strike. Because it wasn't even like he was trying to throw a spinning oblique kick. He threw it like almost to the hip, like the upper part of the thigh. Really, that would have been better used on just like a spinning kick to the body, you'd think. But yeah, he was missing a few like other spinning kicks. At one point in the third round, I think it was the third round, he just threw like 2 jumping knees. He grabbed the back of Pulyev's head, jumping knee again. I couldn't see if he hit them, but it's interesting. Here's a fun striking game. I liked it a little more how he was a little, he was more measured. I felt like that made his game more effective. Maybe the loss to Gregory Rodriguez made him realize, rein it in a little bit, focus on the fundamentals, and just improve as a fighter. Yeah. As for matchmaking, I think CLD versus the loser of Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov, that sounds fun. Both those guys are really fun, so whoever loses, give CLD that guy, That would create a bit of a fun fight. Can't really give him the winner because I don't think CLD deserves a ranked opponent. Andrey Pulyaev, just give him a bottom of the barrel guy. He didn't look too bad, but he just fought a better guy. Marcin Tybura defeated Mick Parkin by unanimous decision. This was a weird one. I thought Mick Parkin won. I'm not super mad at the decision, but like it's a bit of a weird one. Yeah, in that first round, I thought it was fairly close. Tybura shot for a takedown in the last bit. I think probably give it to Tybura. Second round, Mick was doing his thing. He was doing really well. Both guys started to kind of gas in the third. Tybura was so fat for this fight. He was so fat. I don't know what happened to him, because I feel like he slimmed out like around when he fought Tom Aspinall. When he had that horrible haircut that you have to be subjected to with his little picture there. It was weird. I don't know. Why was he so fat? It's crazy. But the third round, yeah, they both kind of gassed. I have my notes here. I just wrote down, Tybura is very fat. I think I was very astounded by that. Yeah. Sucks for Mick Parkin. I think he probably should have won. Should have gotten a win with his home crowd there. This would have gotten him a fight probably in the top 7, but that's fine. He's still relatively young. He's 29. Tybura at 39. I think you probably do Marcin Tybura versus Waldo Cortez Acosta next. You got to do him against someone. Can't really fight up in the rankings. Mick Parkin, do him versus the winner of Martin Boudet and Kennedy and Zechiku. I don't know. I think that could be interesting, especially if it's Kennedy that wins. Be a cool striking battle. Lona Kavanaugh defeated Felipe dos Santos by unanimous decision. First off, Felipe dos Santos is a dirty cheater. He's a dirty, dirty cheater. So dirty. He was committing fouls I didn't even know existed. I didn't know you weren't allowed to hit the spine, like the back part of it. But he was finding ways to cheat. Yeah, that point should have been taken. Doesn't matter. The right guy still won. Their first round, though, was looking pretty dodgy for Kavanaugh. He's going to be a weird one, because obviously I know he's young, and of course right now he's not ready for the rankings, but need to see some improvements, because he has great attributes. He's very fast. Both of them were very fast. Felipe was kind of whooping up on him in that first round. Not like totally, but it was close. Felipe was a lot bigger than him. Hit him with that spinning elbow and cut him open. And then in the second round, well, in the corner, Lonas, his corner just said to him, like, hey, go into second gear, do something. And Kavanaugh came out, he was more aggressive, hit this wild exchange that made Felipe shoot. And then just from there, yeah, it was kind of just one-way traffic for Kavanaugh. They'll both like really hitting elbows, trading. But Lona, one thing I didn't like is he was trying to be very showy. He was like, yeah, you're hitting me, it's not doing anything. Like, buddy, if you keep getting hit like that, one of them might do something. So I don't really like that much. But it was good. He's very skilled, clearly. Same with Felipe dos Santos, but he's 1-3 in the UFC now. He has fought some pretty good guys, though. The 3 guys he's lost to now being Lona Kavanaugh, Manel Cap, and what's his name? Lima. Andrey Lima, I think. I can't remember what his name is. Undefeated guy in the division. Yeah, third round, just same thing. Just kind of one-way traffic. Felipe doing some useless spinning attacks. Felipe dos Santos, he can, again, bottom of the barrel guy. Prove that you're still UFC quality. Whereas Lona Kavanaugh, in a dream scenario, I think him versus not Kyoji, him versus Kai Sakura would be fun, but they won't do that. So I think they should do Lona Kavanaugh versus Alan Nascimento. Alan Nascimento is a sneaky good guy outside the rankings. I think that would be fun. It would be a good test of skill. Nascimento being a guy that trains with Oliveira has that sort of style. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about this fight. Chris Padilla defeated Jai Herbert by split decision. Could be totally off base here. I thought Jai Herbert won this fight. The first round, Jai, he was very tentative, he was very slow. Chris was landing the more volume. Second round, though, Jai got a lot more aggressive. His takedown defense was good. I don't know, I thought he won that round, landing better shots. The third round especially, like he was timing Chris really well, cut him open, and then you look at when the decision was being read out, and Chris just looked defeated, and as soon as he heard it was a split decision, he raised his arm up as if to say, oh crap, I've got to look like, I think I've won this fight, because there's a chance I have now. I think he thought he'd lost the fight. It's fine though. Kind of annoying. There were a lot of fights like that on this card, where it's just like, oh, did that guy really win? I think Jai Herbert, give him someone. 13-6, not a pretty record. Chris Padilla, though, you should do him. Him versus Elvis Brenner, I think could be some fun. 2 guys scrapping it out. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it was an alright fight, but I'm just not very excited to see these guys fight again, which is kind of sad, but what it is. Nathaniel Wood defeated Morgan Charriere by unanimous decision. I was very happy about this. I was very nervous going into this. I'm a very big fan of Nathaniel Wood. Yeah, he put in a great performance in that first round, dropping Morgan Charriere in like a minute with that right hand. Nathaniel Wood can't get a finish for the life of him, though. Just laid on him, then went for a guillotine for some reason, then a triangle. He was aggressive, elbows from bottom, throwing up kicks, stuff like that. Good work, but he just fumbles finishes, like so often, it's crazy. In the second round, Charriere tried mixing he tried mixing in takedowns, because I think he kind of realized that, hey, striking with Nathaniel was not going too good for me. Charriere was throwing good body kicks, but Wood was just mixing it up better. He threw a leg kick at one point that, put Charriere off balance, made him fall over. Then Wood pulled a guillotine, and then with this really nice sweep. Yeah, I think it was good. It was nice to watch as a fan of Nathaniel Wood. And then third round, same thing. Nathaniel pressuring and just landing a bit more. I think next, Wood versus Joe Anderson Brito would be fun. Probably not fun for me as a fan of Wood, because Brito hits hard and Nathaniel has a glass chin. But it would be a good fight. Brito coming off a loss, whether or not you thought he actually lost to William Gomez. still a loss, so he should fight down a bit. He should fight wood. Whereas Morgan Charriere, do him against Felipe Lima. Make him prove himself a little bit. Chris Duncan defeated Jordan Vucenic versus Guillotine Choke in the second round. This was tragic. This was tragic. Not as tragic as it's going to be for Jordan Vucenic when he has to get the problem tattooed on his butt. Though, I don't know if I mentioned that in the prediction video, but that was the stakes. Getting the winner's nickname tattooed on the loser's butt. He's already got enough tattoos, man. He doesn't need that one. Got dropped like a minute in by slow Chris Duncan. Kinda upsetting isn't the right word. It was disappointing as a Vucenic fan, especially with how well he did against Guram Kutateladze. Then they went into the second round. They got up. Jordan was getting ragdolled in that first round, which is weird, but getting ragdolled by Chris Duncan. Then in the second round, they were just doing their thing. Duncan was going for takedowns. Vucenic went for a guillotine. So many guillotines this card. Duncan was cut, but, Vucenic shot and failed. I don't know why he was shooting takedowns. He's landing some good shots, but then Duncan went for a guillotine and Vucenic tapped. This is, what it is. Good for Chris Duncan, though. He's a guy in the UFC where, I don't know, I'll probably root for him more going forwards. He called out Terrence McKinney. I think they were booked to fight at one point. Do that. Jordan Vucenic, he's either going to be going back to Cage Warriors or I don't even know if he's still in the UFC, but if Darius Flowers is still in the UFC, I think he fought, he was a lightweight. Fought lightweight and welterweight. Do him versus Darius Flowers, I guess. Poor Jordan. Alexia Thainara defeated Molly McCann by first round submission. I don't know what anyone else really expected was going to happen. Thainara took ages to walk out. The fight was shorter than her walkout. Molly looked tiny. I think she's too small for this weight class, which is weird because she fought at flyweight, so it's not even like she can go up really, because then she's gonna be bigger up there. But she's not only was she too small, she's not skilled enough for this weight class. She retired, which I think was a good decision. Respect to her. I know I trashed her a little bit, but she's had a UFC career. She had a few highlights. Probably the right time to retire. I respect that. But yeah, Alexia had a few submission attempts here and there, but then eventually just got it with the RNC. Molly McCann, she's going to be fighting, I don't know, an employment office. And Alexia Thainara, I don't really mind. I don't know. Whoever's number 15, maybe give her someone just outside the rankings in that division, since women's strawweight's actually alright. Yeah, that's about it. Kevin Holland defeated Gunnar Nelson by unanimous decision. I would say I was wrong about Kevin Holland. I was a bit. I wouldn't say I was entirely wrong. I just think Gunnar Nelson maybe wasn't the right guy for it. Kevin Holland did look better, though. He was really able to keep Gunnar Nelson at range when he did get taken down with his legs. There was a hairy moment there for a second with the arm triangle, but he got out of it nicely. Really, that first round, Gunnar was doing what I thought he was going to, but then he was winning the round. The last, 10 seconds, he got dropped. That's on Kevin Holland having power and a 9-inch reach advantage. I probably should have factored that in more. 4-inch height advantage. I probably should have thought about that when I was picking the fight more. Hindsight's 20/20 and all that. Yeah, and then in the second and third, Gunnar was doing the same thing, but he wasn't doing any damage, and Kevin was doing enough when they were on the feet, so he won the second and third. Which, good for him. I think he should fight Chidi and Jaquani, because I think that would be a really fun striking battle. They can do that. They can have a bit of fun. Whereas Gunnar Nelson, I would match him up with someone, but he's going to fight in 3 years. So anyone I say now, it's just going to be irrelevant by the next time he fights. He'll be back 4 London cards from now. Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised Gunnar didn't get KO'd in the second or the third, especially after how he got dropped in the first. Kevin, it almost kind of reminded me of how he knocked out Joaquin Buckley, just with that long straight toe. Yeah. Not great for Gunnar. Kevin, though, he's still 32. He has time if he takes his career a bit more seriously. He said he feels better at welterweight. I agree, stay at welterweight, but he also said if you've got any fun strikers at 85, he'd be down for that. That's good if he wants to have some fun. Like, if you want to do him versus Sharo or something at 85, that could be fun, I guess, as well. But just stay at 170. I don't think he can... He obviously can't be a champ. I don't think he can be top 5. I don't really even think he can be top 10. But you give him the right matchups and he can have some fun. Carlos Ulberg defeated Jan Blachowicz by unanimous decision. This was a really close one. I'm seeing a lot of people think say it's a robbery. Even if you thought that Jan won, I don't think you can call it a robbery. Neither guy really put a stamp on it. I think Carlos won. I think in that first round, Jan took it, definitely. That really all they did was trade leg kicks, and Carlos was giving pretty bad reactions to them. They were showing they're affecting him more, so I think you give that round to Jan. I don't think anyone's arguing about that. Second round, same thing. No one's really arguing this one. It was Carlos Ulberg. He got a little more aggressive. He was landing a little more. Not by much, but enough to where you can say it's probably his round. The third round is the one where people are kind of having a bit of a whatever about it. Carlos he kept the momentum from the second round. In the first bit of it, he was landing better. But Jan had a few good shots at the end, and people are saying that should win Jan the fight based on that. I don't think so, and that's based on the visible damage that there was around both of the eyes of Jan Blachowicz. I think that wins Carlos the fight, just based on the scoring criteria. Next for them, I think Carlos Ulberg should fight Yuri Prohaska. I think that's an interesting fight. Carlos is a very good counter-striker. Probably would get knocked out by Yuri, but we'll see. Jan Blachowicz should fight the winner of Dominic Reyes versus Nikita Krylov. I think there'd be a rematch either way. Both fights would be pretty interesting. A lot of people calling it boring. I thought it was fun, but that's just me personally. In the main event, Sean Brady defeated Leon Edwards by 4th round guillotine choke. Lots of guillotines on this card. Yeah, I was wrong. Same as a couple fights on this card. I think I overestimated Leon Edwards and I underestimated Sean Brady. I think I titled the prediction video Britain's Battle for Most Boring. I wouldn't say Sean made me a fan with this performance, but definitely, I don't think he's boring anymore. He was very fluid in his transitions and he was hitting the entire time. I couldn't really ask for more of him. The first round was fairly close, but I think Brady, he did enough to win it. Like, not close, but, it wasn't a dominant round. That third and fourth round, that was almost uncomfortable to watch what he did to Leon. Yeah, he was just all over him. I think Bilal really laid out the game plan on Sean Brady, and we're seeing it now. I think Bilal even tweeted, Sean copied my homework, where it's like, yeah, man. I think it sucks for Leon, because he had the belt, now he's lost 2 back-to-back, but it's just kind of is what it is. You've got a major flaw in your style, you need to fix it. Yeah, I would say put him up against a grappler, but right now seems like a pretty good time to do the Ian Gary matchup. They have a bit of beef. If not, if you really want to push like Carlos Prates, if he beats Jeff Neal, that'd be a cool striking fight. Sean Brady, I think, deserves a title shot over Shavkat. I think Shavkat does not deserve a title shot. He bet Wonderboy when he was ranked like number 7, and then bet Gary ranked like number 7 as well. Either Sean takes Shavkat's spot and getting the title shot against the winner of Bilal and JDM, or probably what I would prefer, just so we can get more fights going, do Sean Brady versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. Main event of a fight night. Make him go 5 rounds. Let's see who really deserves it. Yeah, lots of guillotines on this card. Not even just like people winning by guillotines. Lots of people pulling guillotines as well. But Sean Brady really impressed me with this performance. The smaller guy, he made he made Leon look timid. And now, he's probably going to end up rematching Bilal at some point. It's like the UFC faced them off together all that time ago. And by that I mean like 2.5 years ago. As if to say, okay, one of you boring guys has to go home, but now they might end up having to rematch for the belt. It's funny how that works. I'll be a little more excited now, though, to see Sean fight some of these guys. Sadly, I think he would do horrible things to JDM after watching this, though. Which I wouldn't like, but, what it is. Some of these other guys as well. Usman would be, I think he'd probably beat Usman as well. We'll see what they do with him. Overall, I went 8-5 in this card. Not the best, not the worst. Could have been 5-8, you know. Luckily that didn't happen. I'm enjoying making these videos, so I'm going to keep doing that. If you've enjoyed, you know, stick around. There's more to come. Next, I'll probably end up doing a prediction for the Mexico card next week, and I'll put that out in a couple days, earlier than I did with the prediction video for this card, which I think I put out 8 hours before the actual event, which probably wasn't great. Thank you for watching, though. Take care, and have a good day.